Okay, now that you've watched some of the handbook or helper videos to help you understand the rules, I'm going to walk you through a little more detail of how to use your D&D Beyond character sheet. The biggest benefit of this sheet is that it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, does all of the dice rolls and math for you, and because of the Beyond 20 extension, it then sends all that information over to Roll20 for you as well. So anything that is on here that can be displayed or rolled, if you highlight it, you can actually click this little red die with a B on it, and that will send that directly over to Roll20. It'll tell you what the roll was, as far as if it was a club, it'll tell you that it was an attack club. It'll tell you the character that sent it, and it'll send you the final dice roll as well as what dice was used during that roll. So all great helpful information that's quickly and easy to use. Let's go ahead and start at the top. You have your ability scores plus their modifiers. You have your proficiency bonus, which is the bonus that you get with any item, weapon, or tool that you're proficient in. So you'll roll whatever ability score that is required for that, plus you'll get this particular bonus, and that increases as your level does. Not every level, but the stronger you get, the more chances to get your proficiency increased. Here's your walking speed. That is in relation to the squares that are going to be on your maps that you're going to be looking at in Roll20. Again, every square is typically about 5 feet. If it's different, the DM will tell you. This is to log your inspiration. I won't go over that right now. We'll deal with that at a later time. Here is your health. This shows your current, your max, and your temporary health. If you have an item or a spell that gives you additional temporary health. If you take damage, let's say you take 12, I just type in 12 and click damage, and that'll take me down to 39. Now this should automatically reflect within the green circle in Roll20 above your character token. Again, if you need to heal yourself, let's say we have a potion or a healing spell that affects us so that we heal, we click on the heal button, and that brings us back up. Over here we have our saving throws. So if there is any time that we need to do a saving throw against a enemy's spell, this is the information how we can roll. This little box here will show you if there's any advantages you have. The little A means you may have an advantage, so my particular character has an advantage against being charmed. So if I have advantage, if a character is trying to charm me, I get to roll twice and use the higher roll. That's what advantage means. And then over here we have our skills. The handbook or helper video really details all of that, so I'm not going to go into the details other than point out the little black dots here are showing which ones you are proficient in. This passive perception, you're not going to roll that. That's information for the dungeon master to know. Or he may ask you, hey, what's your passive perception? What's your passive investigation? Then you know what he's referencing. This box here is your proficiencies and languages. So any tool or item that you're proficient in will be listed here. So if there is a particular task, we come to a door and the dungeon master asks, does anybody have a proficiency in lockpicking or proficiency with thieves tools? You can look here and say, oh, nope, all I have is herbalism kit. I'm not going to be good at that skill. Doesn't mean you can't try. It just means that you don't have a proficiency in it. Then you also have your initiative here. So anytime that a battle starts, you will roll for initiative. Basically, you roll a d20 and you add your initiative bonus, which for this character is a +3. But what will happen is you click this button here, it'll automatically do all that math for you. So that determines what order you go in a battle. That will be different every time. It just depends on what your roll is for a given instance. Your armor class is pretty important, especially when it comes to a battle situation. So you'll always need to know what that is. Again, that will be referenced in the little blue circle on Roll20. You will have to manually add that into Roll20. Unfortunately, that doesn't automatically come over, but that's just a reference for you there. Defenses and conditions. The defenses are any resistance, immunities, or vulnerabilities that you may have. Okay, so that's kind of the basic stat type information. You also